what would you want people to say about you when you're gone?
Yeah, and I think, just finding and understanding people's purpose, they now feel like they're a part of the mission. So we've talked about hiring and so on. And before I forget, you've got a great video on your company's purpose and
Yeah.
everyone's individual's purpose,
Mhm.
and that is the best reinforcement, right?
Yeah.
Demonstrating that you believe in purpose. So that's hiring. Now, one of the less fun parts of running a business is letting people go. So can you talk about accountability and what leads to them, self-eliminating from the company?
Yeah, so I read this actually, and I think it was in the COO that only does three things, Trey
Taylor.
Taylor, and he actually put it into a unique perspective, and he was talking about people that aren't performing or they're having maybe some personality conflicts with coworkers, and how we struggle sometimes with that. And I've struggled with that as a business owner before, where I hold on to relationships longer than I probably should because I feel bad. And he actually said in there, and I might not get the words exactly right, but hopefully the point will come across. There's nothing more cruel than to keep somebody in a position to where they feel underappreciated when they're not winning, and then understanding how that has an impact on their life when they leave.
Yeah.
Right. So when it comes to firing, one of the things that we've, I think, done a really good job with people when they're not performing is we always eliminate two things. And this comes from, tons of business studies that you can go out and you can Google it and say 80% of the time when someone's not performing, it's two things: lack of clear expectations or insufficient training and resources. So the instant that someone's not performing, we go, hey, we just want to restate the expectations. Are they crystal clear? And then we give them an opportunity to weigh in before we ask them to buy back in, right? A lot of times we go, these are the expectations. You're crystal clear, aren't you? We're just not asking a question that's going to make it okay for them to give us the truth, right? So that's where you get, I call, compliance versus commitment. And that shows up in results very different.
Yeah.
If someone's walking around this office and they're complying with your vision, that doesn't show up the same way as someone that's committed to it.
Yeah.
So we eliminate clear expectations, and then we also make sure that we've given them proper training and they have access to resources. They might not have the right tech, or they might not have the right piece of equipment or something like that. 80% of the time when someone's not performing, it's one of those two things. So when they're not performing, we restate expectations, make sure that they're committed, and get clarity around the fact that they have all the resources and the training that they need. That's typically a verbal conversation. If they don't make an improvement, we have a written, what we call PIP, or Performance Improvement Plan, where we now document the expectations and say, hey, here's the expectation of improvement over this next 30-day time frame. And if we don't improve in this area by X amount, then the next appropriate action would be this, whatever that is. And then normally by the time you get there, they're going to opt out. If they're not the right person, they're going to say, hey, listen, I'm crystal clear in the expectations. Just don't think I'm cut out for it.
Yeah.
And you've done that person a service. We always feel bad when we terminate a relationship. But if they can't do the job or don't want to do the job, to Trey's point, it is cruel to hold them hostage to that position. You're keeping them from doing something they'd be far better at, that they could probably make more money, that wouldn't impact their personal life and happiness the way that this does.
Might be easier for them to actually do.
Heck yeah.
So